Congratulations to you all. This has been, as I understand it, we all love everyone on the stage right now. So this has been a long road to make this film, and 7 years ago you were here with Revenge, a movie that was about externalized violence against women. And can you talk about what inspired you to tackle this subject matter and explore this story?
Yeah, basically after Revenge, I felt in a stronger place regarding, what I wanted to say regarding what women can have to deal with facing violence, and I felt I felt strong enough to explore the next level, which is the deeper level and the inside level. And I was also had passed my 40s, and I was starting to feel myself, the pressure of the feeling that I was going to be erased, that I'm going to be, disappearing. And I felt like I really wanted to say a big scream, a big shout out that, we should make things different, and we should try and free ourselves from all this pressure that leads to what you see on screen, basically. Yeah, that was really the willing to express all the violence that I felt inside and to take it outside, to get a cathartic, yes, gesture.
And cathartic. And Demi, Margaret, what was your reaction to this pitch?
My first thought, besides it being an incredible script, was that this would either be something extraordinary or it could be an absolute disaster. And so that gave it the excitement of it being worth taking a risk, because it was also just such a unique way and so out of the box of delving into this subject matter, mainly because it was really exploring the internalized way of violence that we have against ourselves and bringing it out into a physical manifestation to really be able to look at what we do with the harsh way that we criticize ourselves. Like, if you really imagine taking the ways that we speak and putting it into a visual, to me this is what that represents.
And what's so interesting, Coralie, is that it's a movie with very few dialogue. It's largely a visual story. Was that very important from the writing, that you knew that this was a story that you were going to really clearly tell, almost like a silent film at times?
Yeah, basically that's the way I write from the start. It was already the case in Revenge, where there was very little dialogue, and to me the way to write my script is at the same time to write the story, but to write the way I'm going to direct and the way I'm going to create all the visual and all the sound, because the sound is really part of the experience. And I want to thank all the French crew who did an amazing job, and all the UK crew as well, because it was hard work, and everything you see on screen was made with passion, with a lot of passion. And I think, yes, the creating, all the visual elements that express that violence, to me was from the start, I knew it was what going to create, the universe of the film. And that's why I wanted to write it on the paper, because I knew it was part of also the way I was going to present the script and bring the two characters, and Demi and Margaret, into the world that they were going to invest and create within it.
And I'd love to hear from Margaret about your reaction to this pitch, and in continuing that line of conversation, also how you and Demi worked together, because you play one character. What were the conversations you were having about that continuity of character?
I just like the idea that I was pitched this. Yeah, they were all like, you have to do it, and I was like, no. I think it was like one of those scripts that you read that's so singular and evocative and crazy that it was like an exciting thing to try to be a part of, and had like a real momentum both met with Coralie more times than anyone should meet with anyone, in order to try to like figure out. No, but I'm kidding, because I think it was super important to her to find the most like complementary actors for each other, and I feel so lucky to have been able to work with Demi, and so grateful that Coralie did take the time to make sure that we would have the right fit with each other, because it was like 5 months of mayhem, and
What were you most excited to get into when you read that script? What were you, all of you, from writing the script to reading the script? What were you most excited to do in making this film? Like what scene or sequence that filled you with like maybe even trepidation?
What did
Everything. Very much so.
For me, I was really like nervous about the dancing. That was the hardest thing for me to do, because I am a dancer, but I don't dance like that, and I never will again.
She did it well.
The prosthetic work in this film is exceptional, all the way to the climax with Monstro. What was it
Right,
like?
I'd rather that more.
So who was in the suit at the end?
That's me.
Margaret just said to me backstage, "That's me with your face stuck on me."
What?
And where did that image come from, Coralie?
That's a good question. I think I need a therapy for sure. No, I think like Monstro is really, to me, the kind of, liberation. Like, I think the movie is all about, how it is to feel monstrous, whatever you look like. I think it's the look you put on yourself that makes you feel like you're a monster in the world, and being able to create like this real monstrous thing, which is the first moment where she actually loved herself, and she looked at herself with, tenderness and, yes, and love. And it's the moment where she feels, okay, I'm ready to go outside. I want people to look at me. I have my place in the world. Was one of the most difficult things to create, because it was like creating a new being. Like no one was really knowing until we did it how it was gonna work. But I think it's the part of tenderness and love that I put in the movie, because I think the movie is just about that. Like they're gonna love you. We are seeking for love. So I love Monstro for that.
I love Monstro.